Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is full of degenerates. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of the woke system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to pick up a biology textbook. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on their pronouns that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the dude in the red dress?
A dude?
Look again. Who is it?
That wasn't a woman?
No. It's another training program designed to teach you one thing. If you are not one of us, you might marry one of them.
What are they?
Transformers. They can move in and out of any gender, regardless of their chromosomes. That means that anyone coming out of the female bathroom is potentially a ladyboy. Inside the Matrix, they can identify as anything, but in reality, it's just delusion.
We have survived by hiding from them, by running from them. But they are at the Diddy parties. They are guarding all the doors while they are touching all the kids, which means that sooner or later, someone is going to have to fight them.
Someone.
I won't lie to you here. Every single man or woman who has stood their ground, everyone who has fought this agenda got canceled. But where they have failed, you will succeed.
What?
I've seen an agent identify as a concrete wall. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge lawsuits?
No, Neo. If you identify as an innocent human being, you won't have to.
I identify as an innocent human being.
Mufasa, you know we finally here, right?
Well,
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday again, it's Saturday, Let's go. What?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's Sky here from Oak Society. This is episode number 1094. It is April 24th, 2026. Let's welcome in all of our friends over on Rumble, over on Kick, over on X, over on YouTube, and of course, my favorite platform, built by Patriots for Patriots. Let's see all the R's down the chats over on pilled.net. Welcoming, guys. Welcome into the show. Sorry, guys, a little later than usual to start time. Liam's got something going on. He did not go to school again today. He threw up last night. It was a long night for all of us. And he's doing better now. And we're going to be getting him an allergy test, I think, tomorrow. And we're going to do a whole bunch of tests for him. But he's doing okay. But we got to figure out exactly what's going on with him. This happened to him last year. It might have been seasonal allergies, but we think it could also be something related to food. We're not sure yet. But yeah, he's still dealing with that. But we got no sleep last night, and cleaning up puke is just horrible. So welcome in, guys. Welcome in. We have a lot to get into. We're going to get into what we didn't get into yesterday concerning the Fed, the new Fed chair coming in, Kevin Warsh, and so much more. The SPLC fallout continues. The House panel is now demanding that they hand over records with Joe Biden. Oh my goodness. FBI wins all over the place. All the woke podcasters going and running to Italy. What? And so much more, guys. Let's get into it. We got my enemy Lulu out there. Don't tread on me. Welcome, Dougie Boston. Cat Girl, G Watts. Welcome in, friend. We got Concerned American. Clover Lily, Francine out there. Mr. Dags. We got Slowpoke. Welcome in, friends. We got Wix Vixen. Spear of Yah, as always. The floor is yours. Dalcon of Truth. Welcome, friends. Let's see what else we got going on over here. Tootsie Roll. Welcome in, guys. Cyber out there. Down home. Welcome in, guys. Good old boy. Tennessee Girl. Becky Heinel. Kim, Iowa. Welcome in. Roy Stones and Bones. What's up, dude? We got Halo Moon. Jason with a Q, as always. Dean is me. Welcome in. Jeff Bork, as always. Who else we got? Don't Tread on Me. Ron Wilt. Welcome, friend. Who else we got? We got Juju B. Welcome, Juju B. Thank you so much. Oh, man. Yeah, throw up's gross, man. It's gross, but it is what it is. Kids puke. People puke. Jim with a G. Thank you for the raid, my friend. I appreciate that. Dewana Q. Welcome in, friend. This is all Jack Attack up there, as always. Welcome in, Season Pixels. Live chat got an upgrade today. I see the timestamps on the messages now. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Always crushing. Purdy Spit. And Facts Not Fear. Let's go over to Rumble chat. Welcome into Little Cat. Trulio1 holding it down over on Rumble. Appreciate you guys. And YouTube, we got Chrissy Tina. Little Cat holding it down. Blue Crow. And Tony Tutors. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. You guys want to do over there, like, share, subscribe, engage in the chat. It helps with the show, I think, at this point. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. What's YouTube doing? We have no idea. Well, either way, it doesn't matter. Hey, I just smashed my own red pill. There we go. All right, guys, we have a lot to get into. As always, News Blitz. We're going to do a full show today, fam. It's the content's pretty light tonight, guys. It's pretty light. We're really not going to touch on too much with Iran, fam. To be honest with you, there's not really too many developments going on with Iran outside of possible peace talks going into oh god, hold on, no, oh no, Trump just shit on Candace Owens. Oh no, oh, I gotta save this. Oh, this is too, holy shit. Okay, yep, that's going back in the lineup. Guys, I'm so sorry. Just 1 second. I don't even know what just happened. Trump just took a random dump on Candace Owens at the moment. Oh, we're definitely talking about that. He used a great picture. Oh my god. Okay, all right. Yeah, guys, we're not really doing too much Iran. There's really not too much going on right now over there. It's still a lot of bullshit, a lot of optics, cock talking. You know, whose dick's bigger? Is it Iran's? Is it America's? We won, I won. It's all kind of the same talk. But outside of that, guys, we're going to get into some crazy things here at the SPLC. The Fed chair from the White Pill Queens, as always. All kinds of SPLC fallout. And how is this tied into all these influencers running to Italy for no reason? I'm sure there's just a coincidence. And, yeah, we're going to hear from Hassan Piker, guys, because we have to remember who the real enemy is of this country. It's not just the DeSantards, the infiltrators on the right. It's the real left that absolutely hate this country, and yeah, it's absolutely insane. So, that being said, fam, we got a leaker also going on with Iran. Now, so much to get into. Smash the red pill, keep the gold pills flowing, guys. The stickers flowing. We're 800 gold pills, guys. 20 Gold Pills every single day on the show is how we do it. I appreciate all the help, guys. You guys crushed last night in record fashion, doing the show within an hour. I can't thank you guys enough for that. So you hope you're all ready. Let's do it. It's Friday. Hope you guys are all feeling spicy. And yeah, everyone's kind of seeing the picture of Candace Owens now. Thank you, guys. Let's do it. News Blitz time. All right, nothing but dealing with illegal alien punching a mother. Thank you, Joe Biden. An unprovoked Texas park attack before snatching a 3-year-old daughter, biting her arms and eating her face. Look at that adorable face. Oh my God, I would kill somebody. A brutal unprovoked attack in San Antonio, Texas that left a young child seriously injured and a mother reeling after an illegal alien tried to bite her daughter's face off. According to police and court records obtained by the San Antonio Express, a 24-year-old Adarva Vyas, who authorities say had entered the country illegally from a foreign nation, has been charged with injury to a child with intent to cause bodily injury, assaulting, causing bodily injury, and illegal entry. The violent incident unfolded around 3 p.m. on April 18th at Espada Park on the south side. I can tell you guys right now, if this happened to my daughter, this dude would have been shot in the face. Over here from Colorado, guys, another scientist. A NASA nuclear scientist was found deceased in his Tesla after colliding with a guardrail, leaving his body so burned that he was completely unrecognizable, according to a new report from Fox News. This is getting out of control. A 29-year-old Joshua LeBlanc, who worked on nuclear propulsion projects, died in a fire crash over the summer. His family at the time said they feared he had been abducted when he left his phone and wallet at home, according to Tesla Sentry Mode data. His vehicle sat at the Huntsville, Alabama airport for 4 hours on the morning of his death. Guys, what we were just talking about in the last Saturday show about Alabama and where all of these like little hideouts for all this secret U.S. government technology is. That's not a coincidence. His car was found later that afternoon. Authorities have now told Fox News that the car collided with a guardrail before slamming into trees and then burst all of a sudden into flames. His family said it was completely uncharacteristic for him not to communicate with them, and that was not part of his plan to travel west that day. LeBlanc had an impressive resume. According to his LinkedIn profile, he worked at NASA for over 5 years. He was team lead for NASA's Space Nuclear Propulsion Instrumental and Control Maturation. LeBlanc then became team lead of NASA's demonstration rocket for Agile Cislunar Operation and Nuclear Thermal Propulsion Engine, according to Fox. And guys, anything surrounding anything nuclear, anything with propulsion, these scientists just keep coming up dead. Over here, guys, some news. The Senate's finally doing something. Senate finally advances a DHS ICE funding bill and 50-48 vote. Holy shit, they're alive. Senate passed a $70 billion budget plan to fund immigration and pretty much ICE, as well as Border Patrol in the latest attempt to end a partial government shutdown at the DHS. So all I have to say about Thune, get the SAVE Act done. I really don't give a fuck what the Senate's doing at this point if it's not the Save America Act. From the Gateway Pundit, Donald Trump, Robert F. K. Jr., and Dr. Oz to say brave Alabama team Will Robertson fight against deadly stage 4 osteosarcoma. It's a really bad cancer, apparently, guys. Trump is now personally involved in a life or death fight to save a 15-year-old Will Roberts of Alabama battling an aggressive and fatal form of bone cancer. Will Roberts of Alabama is now in the fight of his life against stage 4 cancer here, an aggressive bone cancer that has spread and is threatening to steal this brave teenager from his loving family. He already lost part of his leg, and the cancer has spread to his lungs, liver, jaw, and now his other bones. He made a big video, and this actually got to Donald Trump, and they needed a controversial medicine from what I can understand, and the only place they could get it was California. They heard it, and Dr. Oz is going to set him up. Hopefully this little young man is going to get saved. My goodness, that looks absolutely awful. And speaking of cancer, guys, Netanyahu revealed he quietly underwent treatment for an undisclosed prostate cancer. I don't know how a lot of people are going to feel about that, but we'll move on. Over here in the New York Post, massive fire rages at historic New York City church rebuilt after a devastating inferno 138 years ago. And yeah, another church was lit on fire. Shocker. While photos captured firefighters battling a raging 5-alarm fire at historic Queens Church, which suffered another devastating inferno over a century ago on Thursday evening. The blaze started at a residence attached to the First Reformed Church of Astoria on 12th Street between 27th Avenue and Main Avenue around 6:45 p.m. and roughly 270 firefighters and EMS workers responded to the scene as the flames spread to the church and grew into a 5-alarm fire. Officials added, I'm sure Antifa had nothing to do with any of this. Over here from Zero Edge, DOE's Nuclear Fuel Consortium announces a 7-year plan. Guys, if you didn't know nuclear energy, yes, it is coming hot and heavy. After 8 months of closed-door meetings, the Department of Energy Defense Production Act Nuclear Fuel Cycle Consortium has rolled out its latest effort, a plan ensuring that Americans' entire domestic nuclear fuel supply chain over the next 7 years. And guys, it's going to be nuclear fuel. Unveiled at a public meeting in Washington, Nuclear Dominance 3x33 initiative brings together more than 90 companies to tackle every link in the chain, from mining and conversion to enrichment, deconversion, fabrication, recycling, and reprocessing. Officials outlined 3 board goals for 2033: building a secure, cost-competitive domestic supply chain, accelerating advanced reactor deployment while closing the fuel cycle, and leveraging the DPA framework to align workforce development, financing, innovation, and collaboration. They also floated a series of 60-day sprints aiming at delivering quick wins. And guys, whether you like it or not, nuclear energy is not going to go anywhere. It's in fact only going to increase with the emergence of AI. They have to fuel this some way, and it's going to, without killing the electric grid. And nuclear energy seems to be the way. This crazy rescue mission, guys, as Trump admin deployed a U.S. plane to Cuba to rescue a 10-year-old Utah child allegedly kidnapped by their trans father and trying to force a medical transition. These fucking people are disgusting, and they're demons. The Trump admin took the extraordinary step of sending a U.S. government aircraft to Cuba to recover a 10-year-old American child at the center of a disturbing custody battle involving gender identity and plans for medical transition. This basically woman that's trying to become a man stole this kid, tried to go to Cuba, and then transition that 10-year-old herself to a boy. I don't understand how these people can live. I don't know how they could have children. And honestly, guys, I don't know how she can keep the child anymore. It's absolutely disturbing, and I hope to God, this one is put down. And over here, guys, look what Trump posted. It says, I think President Trump is trying to tell us something, talking about Barack Obama committing treason. And what's also interesting, while he put that out, Justice Department announces it's readopting the firing squad as a means of execution. That is a big tell where things are going. And some great news, as Church now has 2 times the global search interest on Google versus OnlyFans. Just last year, they were tied, guys, and look at that. Does that have everything to do with Charlie Kirk? Is there a revival going on in this country? I really think it does. But having a search term church, having a 2 times global search interest in OnlyFans, fam, we are on our way. And what that, guys, is today's News Blitz. Well, guys, if they're going to do firing squad executions, they might as well live stream them, because why can't we watch them? If these people can murder, rape, kill, rob, destroy out in the public and do what they do, why can't we watch them suffer a swift, clean death with bullets going directly into their hearts? Why can't we do it? Why can't we do it? Unbelievable. Either way, guys, welcome in, fam. Thank you all so much for being here. We got a crazy show ahead of us, as always. Thank you all for crushing. Thank you, Jack Attack, for that cookie. Victoria throwing down the shades. Halo Moon with a can. Happy Friday to you. Love to Scott in the mods. Jeff Bork says, nasal drip makes me sick from seasonal allergies. Yeah, seasonal allergies are definitely, here. And also, like, apparently there's a stomach bug and flu. And it's funny because I hope... I can just tell, guys, just from talking to people for not too long and realizing where they are with things. I definitely think my son's teacher is woke, and it's fine, because I was trying to message her. I was like, "Hey, is there anything going on at school? Is there anything like floating around?" And she's like, "Yeah, the flu and COVID are all spreading right now, and it's also giving stomach bugs for each one." And I was so tempted to say, You mean the flu? You mean the cold? because now apparently, guys, it's a thing. It's still a thing, and I just fucking can't. But yeah, seasonal allergies, I'd rather just call it that. And people are still I can't, dude. I don't know how we got through COVID, guys, but we somehow made it. Crystal loves David getting a 1-month bronze tier subscription. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you. Pixel says also, I gave myself food poisoning with leftover barbecue pork belly and have been dealing with that all week. Thankfully, it's clearing up. Dude, my God, dude, that's fucking, that's absolutely awful. Repo says, we'll have to catch the replay. Gotta take my daughter to take her written driver's license test. There we go. There we go. That's how it all starts, Repo. Before you know it, my friend, they're out of the house. I can't even tell you where I would be emotionally with that. But good luck to you and your daughter, my friend. Oh, I've already froze? Okay. Either way, guys, we'll get that fixed up. We have a show to do, don't we? Thank you guys so much. 20K is that daily goal, as we always do. We got 800 gold pills, guys. There's a little ways to get there, but we'll get there. We have a big show here. Going to be jumping into all the domestic news, guys. Everything going on in the home front here. Thank you all for being here. Smash the red pill. Keep the gold pills up. Like, share, subscribe on all the other platforms. Senator Chuck Schumer is still crying about drugs and booze for Kash Patel. So we're going to enjoy this video, and I'll see you on the other side of the intro. Take a watch.
Over the weekend, more damning reports about FBI Director Kash Patel's drunken and deranged behavior came to light.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
2 years ago, Nancy Pelosi opened up a liquor store in Congress.
So I poured myself a drink.
Get out.
And on taxpayers' dime, partied and drank at the Olympics.
Cocksucker, stop.
Oh, would you look at that?
Society's fam, you know it's time to go. Grab your popcorn, sit back now, enjoy the show. Severe and non on the mic, so come on, enjoy the flow. The wave is rising and you know it's only gonna grow. Thanks for tuning in to the land of the real. But it's like the Twilight Zone, the plan is surreal. It'll blow your mind when the plan is revealed. Bring it dark to light, all the plans they conceal. Grab your flashlight, it's time to go down the rabbit hole. It's dark and hell is hot, dealing with satanic souls. The tide is turning, patriots are now in control. Apply aggressive pressure right now until they fold, stay woke. Open up your eyes and keep them peeled. All they do is lie, realize not everything is real. So Project Looking Glass, the future is revealed. Future proves past, but there won't be any deals. No time like the present for this music with the messages. The method to my madness, beat the madness to my method. Give you nothing but the truth now to capture your attention. Broke free from the matrix, master the dimensions. People swear they know the truth, but aren't asking any questions. Confirmation bias, so they pass on interventions. For those who know the truth, but they pass it just to mention. Of anything you might say, the past is their defenses. Wake up, and don't you dare go back to sleep. Always keep one eye open for demons on the creep. Once you turn into a wolf, you won't ever be a sheep. A worldwide awakening is now. Run and tell your peace. Woke Society's fam, you know it's time to go. Grab your popcorn, sit back now, enjoy the show. Severe and non on the mic, so come on, enjoy the flow. The wave is rising and you know it's only gonna grow. Thanks for tuning in to the land of the real. But it's like the Twilight Zone, the plan is surreal. It'll blow your mind when the plan is revealed. Bring it dark to light, all the plans they conceal.
Up to the altar, and with your Apple Pay, you can just tap on the machine, and Holy Babel will drop out of the machine. Biggest faith in our culture is Christianity, and there's a lot of denominations within that Christianity. And when Trumpism, which is kind of a new thing that exists, it's not a political party and it's not a religious entity in and of itself, it's kind of its new breed of something. When it came into existence, it was very difficult to talk to the very believers of this stuff, and I thought it would be great because biblical prose is something millions of Americans are very familiar with. A lot of them have a relationship that is on the daily with these scriptures. So it has a particular prose, a particular tone. Our president has a completely different way of speaking, and I thought maybe if we read what he says in this type of verbiage, it would really start to sink into the depths of society where maybe it hasn't really sunk yet.
Themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven.
A lot of people online have already said that I'm being sacrilegious with my art, but the reality is that I'm flipping tables. You know, I grew up in the church myself, so this is for me standing up for what I believe in, because it's been co-opted and it's being perverted, and I am not okay with that. When you hear him speaking in the way that we're used to hearing people like Jesus speak, it really hits home, I believe. It really causes a disturbance.
Oh, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Scott here from Oak Society. December summer 1094. It is April 24th, 2026. Welcome to all of our friends over on Rumble, Kick, X, YouTube, and of course, my favorite fam over on Pilled.net. Well, let me get this fixed up now. Guys, I love Trump. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, I'm not going to be making a church out of Trump. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, like, right in the beginning. This is how I knew this dude was a clown. You know how, you know, in some churches you have, I think it's Catholics, right? You walk in and there's, like, the water bowl where you can, like, wash your hands or whatever. I don't know if you guys caught this. Instead of a water bowl, this guy had a bowl of Cheetos. He had a bowl of Cheetos, dude. I was like, this guy can't be serious. This guy's a fucking retard. Oh, man. That was April 21st, guys. April 21st. That was out of New York City. For fuck's sake, man. What are these people thinking? I don't even know, dude. I don't even know at this point, but it's hilarious. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Smash the red pill. Keep the gold pills flowing. Thank you all so much. Jeff Bork, appreciate you. And Moon Baby dropping a big fat cookie on the show. Says, late fee. What up, family? Guys. 1,100 gold pills, guys. 20K is that daily goal, as we always do. Let's keep that rocking and rolling. I appreciate all that stuff, guys. Now, what I want to get into here is there's a lot of domestic things happening on the home front, and there was a meeting here with Kevin Warsh in his Senate confirmation hearing, okay? There was a lot of good nuggets in here and a lot of good things that are on our way for this country, guys. And Iran has taken up basically almost all of the spotlight as far as the capital for what we've been putting our attention into as far as the news. And that's going to work itself out, and that's going to be completely up to Iran at this point, when and where that does. And that could all be squared away this weekend. If Iran knows who its leadership is, if the IRGC doesn't kidnap somebody and try to sabotage it, there's still a huge contingent out there of them trying to fuck around, and they're going to find out regardless. The blockade's still happening. Their oil infrastructure is about to collapse. And there's no ships getting in or out anywhere to Iran at this point, to their shores, because the U.S. Navy has a blockade. And that's going to continue to stay the course until they're basically strangled out, and they're going to either surrender, they're going to make a deal, or they're just going to kill themselves. That's essentially where that's all going to go. Trump's happy no matter what, and this is all going to then fade into existence, and then we'll be able to move on with our lives. But it is almost the end of April here, guys. Tax season has come and gone. That's all out of the way now, thank God. We're going to be heading into the summer. The summer is going to be hot and heavy this year. It is going to be America's 250th birthday. May is upon us, and I cannot wait to get into the summer, guys. There's so much going on. And that also is going to be including getting a new Fed chairman. And I don't know if you guys had heard this, but I think it was announced today that the DOJ is dropping their charges or their case into Jerome Powell when it's concerning the whatever he was doing with the building of whatever building of the new Fed that he was involved with, all that money going and all those years it's taking, and all of a sudden the that investigation is coming to a halt. Now, I thought that was pretty weird. And then watching what we're about to watch here from Promethean Action, it's starting to make a little bit more sense now. Because I think what's going to end up happening here, I think Jerome Powell was going to be putting up a fight to stay in his position, maybe try to use some leverage against Trump with this investigation and him going, and maybe his whole deal was, well, listen, maybe I will absolutely step down and be done in May if you drop these charges against me. I don't know if that happened. I don't know if that's part of the story, but it was something that I was thinking about. And the moment that this guy is going to get in, it's going to unleash our economy, guys. And I think it's going to be the final step to get us to where we want to be. As far as prices, as far as everything. And basically the cost of living. Because at the end of the day, guys, this is politics. And we're in a big political year this year. We're in a political year for the midterms. And that means big results, big things need to happen on this side, on the MAGA side, on Trump's side, and that means domestically. Because yes, the wars, this whole thing with Iran, Maduro, what's going on with Cuba, Greenland, it is all America first. It is all America first. We have demonstrated that, guys. I've showed you sauce on that a million times. You all understand that now. It is clear as day. But Americans also want to see everything going well here in the homeland with their own life, their own living, price of goods, insurance, housing costs, you name it. And we all want it. We all want it. And as of right now, and it didn't hit me until I watched this hearing, that we are still living under basically the same regulations that were ushered in during Biden's administration under COVID. And this is a big reason why I have so many people saying, Scott, I really don't, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of great things happening. Big, beautiful bill. Taxes were great. No tax on tips, overtime, Social Security, all that good stuff. There's so many good things. But why does it feel like the economy is not really changing? Why does it feel like the groceries are not really changing? And it's been a question that I've been wondering for a while because, yeah, Trump's saying inflation's down. You can see that inflation's way down. And it's been down since Trump's been in. The stock market's doing great. But why is that not translating into our lives? Well, it all comes down to, guys, one word, and it starts with a P. It all comes down to policy. Now, unfortunately, because of Jerome Powell, we have been living under the same policy that's been enacted since COVID, and that hasn't changed. Why do you think Trump was pushing so hard to get this douchebag out and pressuring him as soon as he got into office last year, dropping all kinds of True Social posts on him, calling him too late Jerome Powell with dropping the interest rates, with dropping everything? And he put massive pressure on him, and he didn't leave because he's a cocksucker that hates this country, hates America, and he hates Trump. Did all kinds of favors for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden when he could. No doubt about that. As soon as Trump got in, we started getting blockaded with these interest rates, doing little 1-point shavings off the rates. It's bullshit. And every economist knows it, and they can see it's political. So why does this matter now? Well, Kevin Warsh is coming in. And this is a big deal. And Kevin Warsh is coming in, and he understands the P word. That's policy. And those policies are going to be updated. The moment that he gets in, and it's going to be a bum rush, guys, in our economy, and things are going to go skyrocketing. So let's take a listen and watch this, fam. This is all going to make sense, and answering a big question, why don't we feel it yet? This is why, and it's going to change. Let's do it.
Yesterday, everyone was watching the Iran clock and asking if bombs would fall. Well, a bomb did fall, but it was in the Senate Banking Committee where Fed Chair nominee Kevin Warsh said this.
And while it's true that inflation is less problematic, meaning the rate of change in prices is less severe than it was some years ago, hardworking Americans are no doubt feeling it. I think that means a regime change in the conduct of policy.
Who wants regime change at the Fed? Now, you probably didn't notice that because the press was focused on Senator Pocahontas calling Warsh a sock puppet for Donald Trump. Or you were being drawn into the social media storm about how Iran has Trump over a barrel. So you might have missed what is really going on. But the empire isn't missing it. On April 17th, the executive director of Britain's Chatham House asked this question. Iran, Pope, economy, how many battles can Trump fight at once? The answer is all of them, because they aren't separate battles. They're one war, a war against an imperial regime. Donald Trump knows it, and so does the empire. I'm Susan Kokinda, and I've known it too. Tracking how the modern-day British Empire is the hand behind the catastrophes of recent decades. Now, people see and feel those catastrophes, but what they don't see is what is really behind them, and more important, how to defeat it. So if you want to join in the fight to defeat the imperial system, then hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons. Here's what I'm going to cover today. 1, what Kevin Warsh actually said, and why the regime change word is the most important thing spoken in Washington. 2, how the real regime change is what the administration is doing to bury the British free trade system. And 3, why Mark Carney wants to go to war to defend the old regime. Now, Kevin Warsh was chosen by President Trump because he's in sync with the administration's recognition that the Fed has failed the American people.
There's probably no more pressing question than the cost of living. So when, over the course of the last several years, especially after COVID, when prices went up to the tune of 25 to 35% for virtually all deciles of the American people, that's an indication that the Fed missed its mark. And we are still dealing with the legacy of the policy errors in 2021 and 2022. And so the fatal policy error going back 4 or 5 years is still a legacy that we're dealing with. We need, in my judgment, fundamental policy reforms to fix it.
Fatal policy error. That's a pretty strong indictment of the Fed's recent activities. And he went on to add another charge to that indictment.
My view of inflation is a bit different from some. I don't think inflation comes about when the economy grows too much or hardworking Americans get an increase in their wages. I think inflation comes about when the government prints too much, by which I mean the central bank.
Now, in the old days, the Democrats on the banking committee would have been happy to hear a Fed nominee defend workers' wages, but not today's certifiably nuts Democrat Party. All they could do was hyperventilate over whether Warsh is properly divesting his assets. So it's not surprising that they missed a very different discussion of assets, where Warsh pointed out that only financial asset holders benefited by the quantitative easing bailouts of 2008. He made this point.
Half of our fellow Americans don't own any financial assets, so they're wondering what's in it for them.
This syncs with what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent declared in December when he released the Financial Stability Oversight Committee annual report. He said that the focus should be on raising living standards, not bailing out markets. And Warsh echoed that throughout his testimony. Now, the other theme which dominated the hearings was the question of Fed independence. Kevin Warsh is not going to lead a charge to change that provision, which is encoded in the Fed's legislation. But he is now on record saying he's going to narrow the role and scope of the Fed's activities. But someone who can go on the record expressing his feelings on the question of Fed independence is President Trump. In a CNBC interview yesterday, the president said this about where Warsh's office might end up, given the fact that the Fed remodel is a giant fiasco.
I'm afraid Kevin will have to have an office next to me in the White House because that building's not going to be done. He's not going to be able to use that building for a long time. Maybe I'd like him next to me. Actually, it's not a bad idea. Maybe Jay Powell did us a big service.
Now, the president said that while Warsh's nomination hearing was going on, so the Democrats didn't have the opportunity to freak out about that. But here's the real issue. The Fed's independence was never meant to be independence from the empire. It was independence from the American people. It was born in 1913 to serve the city of London and its Wall Street partners, and it has functioned that way pretty much ever since. Warsh just admitted that, and Trump just said he wants the man who said it sitting next to him. That's not a threat to the system. That's the system being put on notice. But you won't understand that if you don't know that the battle is and has been against the British imperial system. Promethean Action will give you the history and the principles behind this fight. So if you want to get on the right battlefield, subscribe to our free newsletter. The link is in the description. But Warsh's 2 words don't just describe what's happening at the Fed. They describe the entire economic offensive, regime change, and it's against the entire free market system itself. On April 20th, Trump invoked the Defense Production Act, and he signed his name to a formal legal finding that markets left to their own devices have made this country economically defenseless. Here's the language. Our nation's current inadequate and intermittent energy supply leaves us vulnerable to hostile foreign actors and poses an imminent and growing threat to the United States' prosperity and national security. Consistent with that declaration, I find that ensuring the domestic capability for development, manufacturing, and deployment of large-scale energy and energy-related infrastructure is essential to United States national defense. Yet, due to financing risks, regulatory delays, and market barriers, these cannot be met in full under existing market conditions. Now, this was one of several executive orders that addressed the entire gamut of America's energy production and distribution. No one noticed that, but they should have, because this points to one of the key vulnerabilities of our free trade gutted economy. The president pointed to transformers specifically, the large power transformers that make the whole U.S. economy run. And the nation's capacity to produce them, as the president said, is dangerously limited. Over-reliance on imported equipment, years-long production lead times, leaves us vulnerable in the event of war, disaster, or economic disruption. That's the indictment, not just of a single policy failure, but of a system. The most powerful nation on earth can't manufacture enough of the basic equipment that makes its entire economy run. That's the result of the British system. And that's why we fought the American Revolution. Hamilton's system was the explicit rejection of this. It protected our domestic manufacturing. The British wanted a captive market and a dependent system. Hamilton said no. Other presidents like Lincoln and McKinley carried that policy forward. And for a century and a half, the American system built the most productive nation in the history of the world. And then we forgot. The British 18th century methods, repackaged as globalization, free trade, that did in 70 years what the British couldn't do back at our founding. They stripped this country of the industrial sovereignty of the American system. So the President's Defense Production Act determination, which cites market failures as a national security threat, puts on record the disaster of that system and calls for the government to play its proper American system role in defending our economy. That's the regime change that's underway, not just at the Fed, in the entire economic architecture. Now, nowhere is that clearer than in energy. American energy independence isn't a bumper sticker slogan. It's why President Trump can prosecute the Iran confrontation without flinching. Every previous administration blinked at the critical moment. No one would take on the imperial choke point in the Strait of Hormuz because we were dependent on imported oil and gas. That was the trap, and the empire built it that way. Trump changed the variable. When the United States produces, refines, and distributes its own energy, the choke point loses its leverage over Washington. So we had to get energy independence first. Then the Iran confrontation could follow. So the regime is changing, and the empire can feel it. Which brings me to Mark Carney, Canada's Prime Minister and the central banker's central banker. He's the man who went to Davos in January. He declared that the post-war rules-based order was finished because of Donald Trump, and he positioned himself as the leading statesman of globalism 2.0. Well, last week he held up a toy soldier.
When I get into the office, I always look at this statue on my desk. It was given to me by Mike Myers just over a year ago. And this is General Isaac Brock. Brock was a hero who fought and gave his life for our forebears in the War of 1812. Before Canada even existed on paper, it had a shape in Brock's imagination. Faced with the threat of an American invasion, Brock built alliances across our land and inspired what would eventually become Canada.
So there was the Prime Minister of Canada invoking the War of 1812, going back over 200 years to find a British general defending Canada from the United States. So look at what has happened between Carney's Davos speech and today. Since Davos, where the Trump administration put the globalist system on notice, they've taken dramatic steps to shut it down. and the Iran operation is now clearing the board of one of the empire's key economic choke points. And all Carney can do is hold up a toy soldier. Now, as this show is being recorded, Chatham House is broadcasting a live hearing with the House of Lords entitled The Not-So-Special Relationship. Can the U.S.-UK relations survive Trump 2.0? The answer is no. So let's go back to the other question that Chatham House Director Bronwyn Maddox asked earlier. They do seem to be asking a lot of questions. How many battles can Trump fight at once? All of them. Because he knows it's one war. Regime change at the Fed, executive orders that name the free market as the enemy, energy independence that defangs Hormuz. Every front is the same front. Warsh called it regime change. That's exactly what it is. Now, Promethean action is doing more than exposing what the empire is losing. We're building a movement that understands what Trump is building. The American system rebuilt institution by institution and policy by policy. So if you want to be part of that fight, join us at Promethean Action as a supporting member or a contributor. This has been your midweek update. Thanks for watching.
Please take a moment and subscribe to our free newsletter at PrometheanAction.com.
So there you have it, fam. There you have it. And we had mentioned the Defense Production Act, I think just 2 days ago on this show ourselves, letting everyone know that Trump was invoking that again. And this all comes down. It's kind of like the conversation we had when I brought up when people were asking, well, Scott, like, that's great that we're becoming the world's greatest exporter of oil, but what does that do for us Americans? Why doesn't that get our gas prices down? Well, because of our infrastructure and because of markets and because of regulations and because of Democrat leadership, they have completely put a chokehold on Americans truly being a sovereign country and providing their own means and ways to provide for ourselves. That means with everything. That means with energy. That means with electricity. That means our grids. That means our own oil refineries. This is the problem. And what Trump is doing right now is giving that sovereignty back by cutting through that red tape with these executive orders and fast-tracking it at Trump speed to get this up and running so America can be truly sovereign and be truly reliant on itself in case there is a disaster or in case war breaks out. Or whatever the scenario can be, we have a means to be able to produce for ourselves instead of going to foreign countries to rely on that production. And a very simple question, like, why the hell would we ever want to rely on foreign countries when we have every resource we can possibly imagine in this country already? Why would we want to put ourselves in that position? Because it was built that way. It was built on that reliance. Because if you have to rely on that for your country to run at any point that can dry up, and at any point, there goes any leverage that you may have. And it was built that way, and it was designed that way. And the enemies of our country domestically, that including the politicians, a lot of parts of our government, this is how you slowly bleed a country out and kill it. It was a full frontal assault, guys. Everything outside of war that was happening under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they did as much damage as they possibly could. And it was grueling to watch. Absolutely grueling to watch while all of it was happening in real time. That's what they were doing. And I know it's tough. I know it's not easy, guys. I know it's not easy watching and going through day by day, week by week, month by month. And price is not really changing, guys. Again, I have 3 kids. I understand it's not cheap. You know, I'm out here getting as much free wood as I can to literally get my own personal stockpile up for the house, so I don't have to pay $600 to $800 a month winter electric bills for heat this coming winter. We just got through winter for this coming winter. These are the things that a lot of Americans are doing in all kinds of different ways to try to save some money right now. And you got to do what you got to do. I wish we didn't have to do that. I wish I didn't have to go through all that. But that's the times that we're living in. I think I go out, guys, to eat maybe once a month now. Maybe once a month. It wasn't like that. 5 years ago, it wasn't like that. Once a month now, guys, if I'm lucky. For me to go out with my kids You're talking almost 80, 90, sometimes $100, and that's just not, that's barely getting an appetizer and then your dinners, and if you want something other than water to drink, plus your tip. It hasn't changed. Guys, I don't remember the last time I used DoorDash or Uber Eats. That was like the go-to during the pandemic. That is even more money than going out. And the quality is just dog shit. It is absolute dog shit. Like all those nice little things that we used to have, I just don't do anymore, guys. I don't have the money for it. I don't have the means to do that. I don't even remember the last time I went on a proper vacation. I don't even know. I honestly don't remember, fam. And I'm not being a victim here. I'm fine. I'm happy. My life's good. I'm very blessed. But we have to be honest with ourselves. Things have changed. Things have absolutely changed. So, Don't Try Me says, you live in PA and your heating system is electric. It's baseboard heat, my friend. It's baseboard heat. And the only reason that I was okay with that for the time being was that we had a wood stove. And the wood stove, I did not turn on my baseboard heat one time this winter. And my electric bill never went above $300. I burned wood all winter long to heat this house. It's got its pros and cons, guys, but the biggest one, it saved me a shit ton of money. And this is a big reason why I got into it, because I used the stove out of necessity. People on Facebook and those old groups complaining that $800, $900 to $1,000 electric bills to run baseboard heat in their homes. My home's not big, guys. It's 1,200 square feet. It's not a big house. A 3-bedroom, 1,200 square foot house. And that's what people were going through. And this winter was brutal out here. It was brutal all over the place. But this one in particular, as far as the cold, it was one of the coldest winters I've been in a long time. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. But to get back to what we were talking about here, guys, it's all about policy. The Fed has not changed its policy at all. And we're still living in COVID time policy error with the Fed. And that's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. And you're right, Sarge. That's why you always cook. It's cheaper. Dude, everything for the most part is cooked at home. This is why I got a smoker last year. I have a Blackstone griddle outside. And I just cook for everything. Everything that we can is made homemade. If we want bagels, we make our own bagels. Make our own cream cheese. Like, well, I don't even get name brand shit for the most part now. It is mostly store brand because it's like $1 or $2 cheaper, and it's like you have to save everywhere you can to make ends meet. And I'm not in dire straits, guys. It's not like I'm poor and shit. You know what I mean? I am starting a second business for many reasons. A lot of that being exercise, but you know, another side income is never bad. Having a backup plan is never bad. But this is what most Americans are doing right now. Middle-class Americans that I know, guys, everyone's got more than one job for the most part. It's just wild. But I hope it's not going to stay like that. I don't want it to be like that anymore, you know? And this is a big reason why I want Trump to get in. But this new Fed chair, he's supposedly in lockstep with Trump. And Trump was joking around. You saw in that clip that, you know, he wants his office right next to Trump. Because that building's not going to be finished. Trump was making fun of him. He literally went after Jerome Powell for all the shenanigans that he was doing with that building. And of course, what he was doing is illegal. Of course, they always do. And this is what I was talking about. The DOJ drops probe against Jerome Powell over Fed renovation cost overruns. This morning, the Inspector General for the Federal Reserve has been asked to scrutinize the building cost overruns and the billions of dollars that have been borne by taxpayers. The IG has the authority to hold the Fed accountable to American taxpayers. I expect a comprehensive report in short order. But the decision to drop the case may clear the way for Donald Trump's nominee to Fed chair, Kevin Warsh, to be confirmed in the Senate vote, which has been blocked by Republican Senator Tom Tillis. The North Carolina senator has called the probe into Powell bogus. And this is why I was saying you have these fucking rhinos, these pieces of shit that will turn on Trump and MAGA and want actual accountability And Tom Tillis is like, oh, you want your new guy to be confirmed? Stop the case against Jerome Powell and have the DOJ drop the case. And unfortunately, guys, this could be the reason why it happened. And again, this is the dirty world of politics. This is how this system works. It's disgusting. I hate it. I wish it wasn't like this. Maybe one day it won't be. But this is the type of shit you got to do. You got to make hard decisions that no one's going to like. The base isn't going to like that. We all hate Jerome Powell. He's a giant piece of shit. But that looks like what happened here. And at the end of the day, guys, at the end of the day, it's like, well, we got to get shit done. We got to get shit done. And sometimes we got to do things that we're not going to like to get it done. We talked about this when it came up, like with the Save America Act. Do we have to endorse a rhino and deal with one more Senator Rhino out in Texas? That's not going to really change anyone's lives really too much. Certainly not the entire country. That means we have the Save America Act, and we don't see what's going on with Virginia. We have razor-thin margins once again, and they drop a $35,000 mail-in ballot right at the very end, and the Democrats get a win. Aren't you all sick of that? Could we trade in one senator for the entire country getting our elections fixed? Abso-fucking-lutely. Getting this thing dropped against Jerome Powell for an economy better for the entire country? Absolutely. Do I like it? No, I don't. But it's called living in the real world, and unfortunately, fam, this is how this shit works. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And now with all this coming out, the White House is now expecting a swift Warsh confirmation after the DOJ drops the Powell criminal probe. And that's where this is all going, fam. That's where all this is going to go. So, it dropped. Warsh, who appeared before the Senate Banking Committee this week, enjoys broad support among GOP lawmakers, but a key Republican Senator, Tom Tillis of North Carolina, vowed to block it. According to ABC, senior DOJ officials had contacted senators in recent days, including Senator Tom Tillis, who sits on the Senate Banking Committee, informing them of the plan to drop the probe and refer the matter regarding alleged cost overruns at the Fed's Washington headquarters and the bank's internal watchdog, the sources said. So this was a move to get Trump's guy in, to get the economy humming when once May hits. Jerome Powell is going to be fired. Trump's going to probably make a mockery of this clown, as he should. And then as we head into the summer, hopefully this thing with Iran's going to get tied up. Warsh is going to be cutting rates at record speed, and everything's going to drop. That's the plan, hopefully. Because, guys, again, Trump's going to, Americans have the memories of goldfish sometimes when it comes to the political realm, and they're going to be wondering, why are we going to vote for you? What have you done for me lately? That's unfortunately how this is going to work, and Trump needs a ton of domestic wins, in my opinion, to get that done. And he's done so much already, but it's not a forgiving job. It has to be constant, and it has to be in the memories of Americans, very recent memories of Americans, or they will forget. And that can end up showing up in the polls, guys. And as much as I want to win the midterms, guys, obviously I want to win the midterms. They don't normally go the way of the ruling party for whatever reason. I'm sure it has nothing to do with stolen elections. It's just the way it is, guys. It's just the way it is. I don't fucking believe it for 1 second. I just don't. Razor thin victories. I just don't fucking buy it. The Democrats, guys, are not changing their tune. Not one bit. They're going all in with the same bullshit. It's absolutely crazy. You guys have been dropping it like it's hot. Thank you so much. Over on Pill, PJ Carr with a can. Dr. Sean with 1,500 gold pills says, here's an appetizer. Thank you, my friend. Core Cousin with a cookie. PJ Carr with a cookie. And Dr. Sean says, is not done. 1,700 gold pills for the kids. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And the floor is yours to say, bro, you have all that land. You need to start growing your own food. There's so much land that you have. Get some seeds and start growing. I'll help you if it... Yeah, dude, I don't have that much land. I have 0.32 acres. That's exactly how much I have. It's not much, and a lot of it is boulders. A lot of it, unfortunately, is boulders. I don't really have soil. The soil is kind of sporadic, but it's mainly gravel, rocks, and boulders out here, unfortunately. And it's not just my property. It's miles of it all over the place. We technically live on mountains. And it's kind of just the lay of the land out here. And we have an HOA, and they're dicks about things about what we can have, what we can't have. And I wanted chickens. We can't have chickens out here, but you live and you learn. Next place I'm going to be, wherever I move to, I won't have an HOA. But otherwise, my friend, I would absolutely be having gardens, and I'd have chickens. And because I have so much sawdust out in the driveway, I can make beds for days for those chickens. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys. I saw my first bear sighting. On my Ring camera. Got the notification that something was close to the door. I pull it up, and I see a big mama. Big mama walked right up to the side of my house, right past the front of it, and it was kind of in the back. Checked out my garbage can, and I walked outside, took a quick video of her. She looked at me, kind of like snuffed a little bit, looked at me again. She just kept walking. Right to the next neighbors, looking for garbage, looking for food to eat. Fucking wild. It's crazy living out here. I love it. Hello, Moon. Thank you for the cookie, my friend. Guys, we're at almost 5,000 gold pills, a quarter of the way to our 20K goal. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, guys. We have a lot more to get into, and in fact, we're probably just going to move everyone to pill.net right now because it's 5 minutes up to that time. We're going to be moving to the SPLC. All the fall of that. This is going to tie into Trump's post, recent post about Candace Owens. Oh my God, he used the most savage picture of this bitch. Tons of wins from the FBI. And why did Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens all go to Italy at the same time? And Ian Carroll finally showed up. And why that is going to be brought into this as well. So much, guys. This whole thing with the SPLC. Oh, it's so bad. And it's only getting worse by the day. Guys, we're moving to pill.net right now. Make sure you guys come over from Kick, Rumble, X, YouTube. Thank you for joining the show tonight. We do our full show on pill.net every single night exclusively. If you just move over there, create an account, it takes literally less than 30 seconds. It drops you in the chat. Hang out with us over there. It's so easy. It's so much fun. It is true free speech. And I hate big tech. Why give any of your money or your clicks or your attention to big tech? Come join us on our homegrown platform built by Patriots for Patriots. We'll see you guys on over there. Unless, if not, we'll see you tomorrow for your Saturday Night Showdown. Until then, friends, goodbye.